Hello and welcome to yet another video of GJ Management Consultant on Business Fix. So we are here to present one more business challenge, and we are going to come up with a new set of solutions so that we could able to figure out that how those challenges can be managed. We'll quickly start the discussion. So we have a challenge this time, and challenge is again by Mr. J. So what challenge he is having? So he's saying that due to customer centric policies that put customer first, orders modification is not only adding to the operational cost but also creating the other challenge across O2C, impacting the customer effort score. Okay, so which means that they are on the right path wherein their focus is to make sure that their customers should always feel happy and they are following the customer centric approach. But by adopting that approach, they are incurring some extra cost on the operational side. So we need to figure out the reason for those operational costs and then how it is going to be compensated with the fact that their policy is to make sure that their customers always feel happy. So Mr. G has actually diagnosed this issue and has come up with certain problem debrief. So we'll quickly look at those. So what he's saying that increased operational cost seems to be a logical reason because when we are spending some efforts on the customer centricity, it has its underlying cost. But the objective here is that we should not be losing on account of this factor because at the end of the day we are here to make the profit and we should not be losing on the profits while making sure that we are increasing our customer centric approach. So we need to look at this, the reason for the increased operational cost, a process disruption across order to cash business process, which ideally should not happen because our customer centricity is a method to attract our customer but to not to trigger any kind of the disruption in the order to cash process itself. Negative impact on the customer effort score, which seems to be little bit contradictory to the fact that our efforts to the customer centricity should our score should increase, our efforts should definitely give some the positive result, which is not happening in this case. And the system and the data integrity challenge, which seems to be a challenge because let's say our process which has been created for customer centricity is not being managed digitally, and there are some internal stakeholder frictions. So these are like five high level challenges that has been decoded by Mr. G basis the problem statement that has come. So we'll try to look at each of these challenges in bit team and understand that how these challenges are actually impacting the overall customer centric thought process which organization is carrying. So we'll quickly move to the next slide then. Okay, let's just try to look at each of the high level challenges in bit detail now. So increased operational costs. So manual rework required for editing the sales order. So which means that let's say they have a policy whereby a customer can make the changes in the order at the last minute, and any changes in the order is triggering the manual rework for editing the sales order, updating the pricing, adjusting the delivery. Additional warehouse effort for stopping the pick. So which means that let's say they have packed the goods, then it is ready to be shipped, but at the last moment customer is saying that they needs to make some changes in the terms of the way shipment has to be done, or the multiple warehouses that it was earlier aligned that needs to be changed. Either the shipment location is going to get changed or the container in which goods needs to be dash needs to be changed. So all those changes which are being there, that are creating some operational challenges, because of which there is a change increase in the operational cost. Issuing of the debit memo for the customer for charging back the additional cost for logistic, leading to extra workload and the reconciliation, and the higher planning and logistic cost due to the last minute modification already. So which means that any kind of the efforts which are there to make the last minute changes basis the customer requirement is causing extra burden on the operations, either in the form of the logistics cost, warehousing cost, or making some reconciliation post some debit memos are issued for incurring those extra costs. So all these are actually adding a cost to the operations itself. So this is a diagnostic of the increased cost of operation. Okay. Negative impact on the customer efforts. More modification is equal to more communication loops, calls, emails, WhatsApp interactions. Customer follow up the confirmation, revised delivery timelines, debit memos due to the chargeback scenario got increased, forcing the additional resources at the customer help desk. Increased errors or the delayed deliveries due to the last minute edit elevate the customer frustration, ironically raising the CES despite the customer friendly policies. Negative feedback received from the customer who enjoyed bigger flexibility. So which means that's what's happening. The entire premise of customer centricity is at toss because of this approach itself, which means that to attract the customers, last minute changes has been absorbed or has been accepted, because of which it triggers the multiple iterations in the process itself, because of which confirmation reconfirmation process, any kind of the email confirmation reconfirmation is creating the loop wherein the customers is getting frustrated because multiple calls are being made by the operations team to ensure that all those last minute changes are these needs to be adopted, and if adopted, if they have to confirm that those changes has been modified or they have been taken charge of. So which means that the fundamentals of customer centricity is losing its focus because of the iterations that is happening because of the multiple modifications. System and data integrity challenges. Multiple modification causes the data discrepancy, audit trail complexity. Obviously, ERP and WS system synchronization errors escalate due to repeated reallocation of the inventory, incorrect invoices, debit memos adjustment, average time of stock at the staging areas. So all these are the cascading impact or the effect of the any last minute changes that has been imposed by the customer. And because of our policies that we have to make sure that we are keeping our customer happy, we are accepting those changes without understanding the fact that all these changes when implemented is going to create extra burden on the operational cost, on the systems, and definitely on the data integrity issues. It will trigger the data integrity issues. And then definitely internal stakeholder friction, because sales promises made by different sales representatives getting badly impacted. Operation, finance, and logistics struggles to accommodate the changes, and misalignment increase internal escalation effect. So the entire fundamental of keeping the customer happy is going for a toss, because the logic of keeping the customer happy and the thought process was very well, which should be adopted by any organization, but they should also plan that how that any kind of the changes would impact their internal process. And if that assessment is not done prior to implementing the customer centricity policy, then these challenges are bound to happen. And because of these challenges, the I mean the focus of customer centricity somewhat is losing the intent with which it got created. So we need to figure out that how these challenges needs to be taken care of, so that we can have the customer centric kind of the mind frame, and then we could able to build our systems to manage that customer centricity without any increase in the operational challenges and the operational cost. So let's just look to the next slide and look at the solution which is being provided by Mr. G. Okay, so let's just quickly have a look at the solution then. So Mr. G has bring one solution, and what he's saying that transition to AI-based rule engine to accept order modification, which means that the moment we have received the order modification, it has to trigger a kind of alert within the system, and everything should be managed through basis that trigger, instead of somebody manually accepting that kind of modification and then triggering the changes within the system. Okay, automate customer interaction and self-service through intelligent AI. Absolutely yes, this is a much needed, because if at all there has to be an automated customer interaction, then the dependency on the customer headers will reduce drastically, and the to and fro communication that was happening, that can be reduced to minimum or zero. Automate order reprocessing using the RPN AI, real-time visibility across O2C using intelligent tracking, enhance supply chain planning through AI forecasting, and then strengthen, strengthen the cross-functional alignment. So which means that these six six solutions which he has provided is typically all emanating from the fact that there is a huge need of digital and technology based solution that can help the organization to reduce the operational cost, to manage the operational challenges, and to make their customers satisfied and happy, and then also at the same time to reduce the confusion that is being arising because of multiple to and fro communication. So let's just try to dig a bit deep and jump into some of the details of these high level solutions. Okay, so let's just look at some of the details of the solution. Transition to AI based rule, and some of the key pointers that Mr. G has proposed here is that implement the intelligent rules engine to automatically evaluate the modification request in AI dynamically. Approve, reject routes modification without manual effort based on the order stage. So which means that what he's saying that you have to implement an algorithm, and it has to be embedded in such a way that the acceptability of the modification will depend upon the stage at which goods are. If goods are beyond a particular stage, then the modification will not be accepted. as a part of the rules, and if it is before that, then definitely it will be accepted. So which means a clear bifurcation beyond which state modification will not be accepted, and once it is being applied, then it will automatically trigger, and the subsequent activity basis that modification will be aligned automatically basis on the system alerts and the other integration that will be introduced. Second, automate the customer interaction and service model through intelligent AI solution. So service modification portal app, a digital portal where customer can modify quantity, deliver. So which means that a visibility of the customer order should be made available to the customer himself. He can clearly look at the stage at which goods are. Then he can then do a necessary chatting with the chatbot and voice bot services request to do the modification as per the requirement and as per the stage at which it was agreed and aligned, and then post that he can have a frequent communication with the chatbot to make sure that he will get the right set of the information. So instead of he getting a lot of emails, WhatsApp chat, other kind of the ways through which he is responding, he is like inquiring every information from the chatbot, and he is consuming that information to his satisfaction to make sure that he's getting the right side of the information. AI to issue the debit memo on the additional charge accepted by the customer. So all these AI driven technology solution is going to help the organization to get away with all the challenges that they have observed even after implementing the best in class policy of customer centricity approach. Automate the order reprocessing using the RPA and AI. Deployment of the bots to update the sales order line. Synchronizing the data across ERP, WMS. So this is a solution which is fully loaded with the digitization. Use the AI predictive and insights for the CS by monitoring the complaints and the feedback. Again, so AI has been introduced. So which means that the entire problems and the challenges which has been observed, the solution which is being proposed is 90% in this case is through AI and the automation. And less rest 10% would be through the training of the people and the process changes if required. So which means that the combination of transformation which literally require three elements, which is the process, people and technology. The technology is playing the major role in implementing this transformation in this case. Then strengthen the cross-functional alignment. So this is a rather process strengthening and making sure that it is being digitally aligned, and making sure that whatever approvals are required, that is being made available digitally available rather than somebody asking for the manual approval. So I think the kind of solution which Mr. G has provided is going to resolve all the issues, not only, I mean, not only few issues or some issues, all the issues will be resolved by implementing the solution. And at the same time, organization can make their customer happy without any concerns from their side. This is a very good solution which has been provided by Mr. G. So let's see how it is being adopted by Mr. G. Okay, so both of them are shaking hand, and Mr. J seems to be happy with the solution. What he's saying that, Mr. G, thanks, I'm clear, and I can still keep my customer happy with this implementation and without any additional operational cost. However, he has to incur some cost on the digitization and the automations, but that is the long-term cost and as per the strategy of the organization. Mr. G is again saying that definitely yes, but the beauty lies in the implementing the solution with the help of the GJ management team. So we'll move to the next slide and see the final adoption then. Okay, so Mr. J seems to be happy. He's having sound sleep after implementing it, and Mr. G is satisfied after proposing the solution. So this is how we normally deal with any problem that comes to us. We deal with all the business problem with due diligence, making sure that we decode each and every problem by looking at the details of the problem rather than looking at the high level problem and giving some high level solution. So we look at each problem with detail and then recommend a solution which suit for that particular organization, is suit for that particular specific problem details, and then we provide the solution. And it can be a digital solution, maximum digital solution as in this case, or it can be a mix of the process, people and technology solution. It depends upon the problem to problem, and each solution is having a different set of attributes attached to it. Few solutions have more of a process and people kind of re-engineering, and a few solutions have the more of the process automations and the digitization. So this is how we approach a problem. So I would request to please watch this video till and share this video with all the relevant people who are facing these kind of similar challenges, and it will help them to get this solution fixed with the kind of the approach that we have adopted. So with this, we are done with today's problem. We'll come with the new problem and a solution very soon. Thank you. Bye bye and have a good day.